Hi, I'm just filming. This is my sort of my build. I'm just gonna show a quick video where for about 2 weeks ago I bought myself a new cabinet, and here is the old one. I'm not really sure what the name of it is. I think it's a Cooler Master Silencio midi tower, and the reason I wanted to swap it out is because I'm planning to upgrade my computer soon, and it's kind of hard to see anything because everything is black. Although the main thing I was wanting to change, it's very hard to see. Let's see if I can't get some light onto this. I'm filming with a Samsung Galaxy S3mini, while I use my regular cell phone, a Galaxy S2, to use the light. But as you can see, here is the main intake. There are originally 2 fans. It started out with one, however, when I bought myself a liquid cooling unit and with radiator and a fan, I switched the exhaust fan to the front. So originally I had 2 120mm fans in the front, and if we, excuse me, go into the back, you can see, oh, there we go, 1 exhaust. So, like, it wasn't that bad, although for the future I plan to use a better graphics card, and I wanted better airflow. So first off, I thought this is great because I don't want to have too much noise, although it doesn't really matter, I found out. And this cabinet, which is more open than, for example, that one, doesn't make that much more sound. The main problem is the CD room, which when I boot up makes a lot of noise. So what I did, I just wanted to have it in there, because why not? And as you can see on the side, I'm using my old 120mm fans from the other cabinet. And in the back I have the radiator. You can't really see it. Although, what's cool about this cabinet is this. So now I took off the top cover, and you can see right in. So, as you can see, the cooling block to the CPU, and the 16GB RAM. And if we just peek in here, you can see the radiator behind that fan right there. Actually, maybe if I kind of lower the phone, I'm not sure if you see anything. I can't really see, but that's the main deal. And just pausing and unpausing, just to make sure the video doesn't fuck up. Down here we have the GPU. You can't really see. There's one main fan at the back of it. You can see the copper heat pipe and the wires. And here are the 2 fans, which I have connected to the side here. There's a bit of a wire clutter, but I really couldn't do anything about it. And as you can see, those 6-pin connectors, I really want to make... It would be nice if those weren't that close to that fan, but I haven't any problem with it. So those are side intakes. We feed air to the GPU. What I really want to do is to install a exhaust GPU, or what's it called? It's encased in its own plastic, and it has one main fan, which is at the bottom. So imagine... We get it. What I was to say is, if I put my phone there, and now imagine that if this area has the fan, and the components are all in here as usual, the fan will suck in air, and then from the bottom suck in, and when it rotates it will blow this way. What will happen is that the exhaust will come out either under or over the HDMI and the, what's it called, DVI? Well, the monitor cables. There's no real good example I can point out, but you see kind of black grills over these cables. This is where the air will come out. So what you really end up with, if you have, like me, a radiator, there is really nothing inside of this computer case that are generating any extreme heat. The only thing is the radiating heat from the GPU and the motherboard and those components. But what you really will get is a very clean and very cold case. And all your heat will come out in the exhaust and the GPU exhaust. So that is really what I'm planning on doing, and therefore I wanted to have this cabinet. And it's called the CM693. It's maybe the best bang for the buck cabinet I found. It's not a big tower, it's a midi tower. So and that's because I kind of squeezed my cabinet in this crack here. It's really cluttery and a bit dirty, but that's where I used to have it. This one can't actually fit because the armrest of the couch is too high. While oops, the light went out. While this tower was just small enough to fit in. So, moving on to, I'm just going to show you, while the reason I'm actually doing this is because, if you can, the light is gone for the moment. It's a very ambient lighting in here, I'm sorry. But what I'm going to do is to undo the two thumb screws on this side. There we go. And by the kind of default, I have unscrewed this at any time, so I just put it on when I want to, like so. Now it's on, and if I want to take it off, I just take it off. There's no really no reason to do this unless you are kind of in the computer when you're installing or uninstalling your 120 or 140mm fan, and yeah, the airflow doesn't really get any better by taking it off, and the danger of losing something in it, as I did with my cell phone, increases. So you kind of want to keep it on, but it's a cool feature, and when you're building or when you're doing maintenance in the computer, you can take off the side panel and the other side panel and the top, and you get so much space and access. And what's also cool, you can see the only problem I have had is this kind of little stripe here, which must have happened during transport. That's the only thing I have to complain. Otherwise, this is a great case, and that's an individual problem. So what I can do is just dump these thumb screws in here for the moment while I'm in doing this. Excuse my white arm. Here, yeah. The reason why I'm even bothering to do this is because yesterday I kind of, excuse the chair standing here and the bottles. I dissected my laptop. RIP to you. And in doing so, everything in it was crap, although the 288 gigabyte, or no, sorry, megabyte, no, gigabyte, yes, sorry. I'm thinking it's such a small HDD. The only thing that was usable was that, so it's connected now, but I wanted to show you what I have going on in here, rather. So on the bottom, which is this? I either think that's that's my Samsung 120 gigabyte SSD, where my Windows 7 program is on, and kind of my drivers and essentials. And the old SSD I have is a 60 gigabyte Corsair, which I use like my extra Steam library, where I put smaller games on, and The big bulk is the 1 TB HDD, where I kind of keep all my other games and videos, media files, etc. on. But for the moment, I will be using this 288 GB HDD to store any media on. So I kind of cannibalized my CD room, and because I ran out of SATA cables, and I'm really not using the CD room, which is there, because it's just noisy. All my games are on Steam, and yeah, the era of CDs is kind of dying out. You have Netflix, you have Spotify. You don't really have to put any CDs into your stuff anymore. So it's only like the car radio. And yeah, so I took the power and the SATA cable and jammed it into the hard drive, and I what's it called? Formatted? I don't really think that's the name. Formatere, it's called in Norwegian, where you just cleanse the whole thing. And now it's empty, so I just store all my videos on it for the moment, like Star Trek and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of everything I really had to say. If you really are interested, it's mainly because I wanted to show this cabinet, the Cooler Master CM693. It's a MIDI tower. It's a great tower. You can take out this part right here. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4 stack, also tower, you can call it, your storage cabinet. You can screw it in and out, giving you better airflow. And what's also very cool with this cabinet is that it comes, excuse me, with a 200mm stock fan, Cooler Master fan in the front. And that is fantastic. I could kind of, yeah, I'm not going to bother, I can't really do it with one arm. But you can, as you can see, take off this front panel and it will reveal, behind the dust filters, which is in front here, the 200mm fan. And that's sucking a lot of air in. And even with the side fans that I have on the other side, down there, I don't think I really need them. The only reason I have them is because, why the hell not? I can, duh. And those are kind of feeding direct air into the GPU fan, which is beneath. While this is just pulling air in, cooling this, and yeah, supplementing. While I have the radiator with its fan down there, being the main. This is where I feel the heat come out actually, and this on the top is just another exhaust fan, where I'm in the future is going to have a 240mm radiator with dual 120mm fans on the top, and maybe I'll have an exhaust fan for the hell of it, but it won't really be any need for it. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. If you are on the lookout for a cabinet, I really recommend this if you don't want to go too big, but also you want to have enough space. And even if you are running a pretty long graphics card, you can, as I mentioned, screw out the HDD bay here to gain even more airflow and even more space for your graphics card. And also, as you can see, these cables kind of make a big bulk, and that's where this handy dandy invention comes in. And excuse me while the light is dying out again. You can see it's kind of a dump here, where the plate kind of bulks out. Somebody will think this is ugly, and I don't really care. I find it very handy because you can stuff your cables. This is not really any good management on my part, although I don't care too much. But for me, this takes kind of, it adds to the thickness on the back here, and then this kind of pressed out metal here gives a nice cable management room, and it folds in back here, as you can see. And while I just tuck my computer in a crack, I don't really care for LED lighting and too much of the aesthetics on the back and the side, so I don't really care. If you are not too picky about that, that's the only aesthetic mishap on this cage, which makes, or kind of makes it unsymmetrical maybe, then don't buy it. But if you don't care and you want a very good MIDI tower, I really recommend it. I will post a link for it in the descriptions of the video. The specs I have just on my info page on the YouTube site. So if you wonder about anything, just ask. I don't know. I will when I buy my new GPU and look at that mess, Jesus Christ. Just as messy as the computer. When I buy my new GPU and fan controller, new fans and all that kind of jazz, I will try to film most of it, but I really need 2 hands, so it may not be direct filming. It may be like clips after I've installed part after part. But yeah, I hope you really you found this interesting, helped you out. Maybe if you are on the lookout of a new case, you can, this may be a choice for you. Ignore this. This is just a plastic cover, nothing special. And that stripe over there, I'm not sure how it came to be, but yeah, it's not worth to send back and wait another week to get a replacement. This is just put a sticker on it or something. It really doesn't show from the backside, it's just the top. Otherwise, this is just a great cabinet. So yeah, as I said, check it out in the description, this cabinet, and I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment if there is something you have to add. If you want me to clean up, I will. If you think something in this cabinet is missing, or there is some recommendation of what I should do, please tell me, and I will be seeing you. Bye bye.